Alright, so back here on Dude Food MLB, Dude Food Gaming. Today we're just going to do a really quick tutorial on meter pitching. Say you're trying to switch from analog or just new to the game in general. These will be some quick tips on how to be consistent meter pitching and hopefully get you pretty good against both the CPU and user batters online. So I'm using James Shields, he's pretty terrible, and Chris Taylor, who was a breakout star last year. So quick strikeout, this is all-star pitching, I believe. So the first thing that you want to do is, obviously pitching is a very repetitive motion and you're trying to be consistent with it. So the first thing you want to do to be consistent is to try to get some kind of consistent release point, and to do that you want to have a consistent camera angle. So if you're on broadcast camera angle, that's going to be different for every single stadium, which means your eye level is going to be a little bit different, the angles are going to be a little bit different. For the most part, it doesn't matter too much, but I noticed, especially when you have strike zone off, it can be a little bit of an issue trying to hit the corners. Right there, that's just a bad cutter from James. Don't worry about the skill right now. It was over the middle of the plate, but right on the corner. You do want to try to get that cutter inside. So tip number one is to try to keep a consistent camera angle. Number two is when you are starting to load your pitch, you don't want to look back towards the red zone and then back towards the yellow bar. Meaning, alright, so I've got my spot right here. Let's say I want to throw that ball right there. I'm going to first get my spot, then I'm going to look up at the meter. But when I look up at the meter, I'm looking where the yellow bar is going to show up, which isn't there right now. So I want to stare at that spot once I press X, right? So I've got my spot looking up at the meter, press X, and I'm staring at that yellow bar. What I used to do is I used to watch the bar go all the way to the end and then all the way back to the yellow. And what that does is you don't know where the yellow is, right? When you're coming back this way, you have no idea where that yellow bar is until it's kind of too late. So if you're staring at the yellow bar, you can kind of see the white bar out of the corner of your eye, but you're really focusing, boom, right there, and you're ready to go once the meter comes back to that spot. So pick your spot, stare at the meter, looking at the yellow, and get pretty close, and that's a pretty perfect pitch. I'd say that consistency has helped me drop my ERA by at least a couple points recently. Alright, let's try to get a strikeout. That wasn't bad. By the way, curveballs in this game have a lot more snap to it, and I think they're going to be very effective, as well as just pitching down in the zone like right there. Missed my spot, but it was still down. Alright, so we got our first two tips in. Now number three is using low effectiveness. And this really is going to help you with, number one, with control. That was pretty terrible. But it's going to help you with control, especially on your first couple of pitches. So when it's a 0-0 count, you go low effectiveness. Look at that, you just caught a strike. The batter wasn't swinging, which is the important part. And now you're ahead 1-0. Now the second pitch, you can kind of go like halfway, maybe the guy's swinging, but you also want to have some good control. And then if you're on an 0-2 count, then you can use the full meter. But right now I'm still trying to catch a strike, and it wasn't where I wanted it. But now I've got that 1-2 count, like 1-2, 0-2, sometimes even 2-2. Then you can use the full effectiveness. So you go all the way to the end. Remember, I'm staring at the yellow. Boom, perfect. Alright, so that's how you use the effectiveness at its best. You don't want, if you are facing a guy online who's pretty patient and he's taking a lot of pitches, especially first pitch strikes, what you can do is go as low as effectiveness as possible and try to throw it on the corner with good control. Obviously, if you start doing this, you throw it down the middle with low effectiveness, yeah, he's probably going to take like the first 3 or 4, but he's going to catch on, and then he's going to hit like 3 or 4 home runs off of you really quick. So make sure that you're hitting the corner if you're going to go low effectiveness, but it's a very easy way to catch strikes. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.